Hey, sexies. So we are back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and we have the Datamines for the Book 5 Nott and More banner. And we also have the refines for the units that we're getting them, so we're definitely going to start off by taking a look at the refines. Now, I haven't looked at them myself yet. I actually got home a little bit late tonight, so that's why the video is going up a little bit late. So this is completely blind impressions on these refines. And of course, we have the homie Phoenix Master 1 holding it down with this beautiful infographic. So let's go ahead and start all the way over on the left-hand side. So we got the Fallen Takumi with the Scotty refine. So effective against flying foes, of course. Grants speed up 3. At the start of turns 2 and 3, deals 7 damage to foes within 3 columns centered on unit, and inflicts panic on those foes. Okay, already this is definitely a little bit better, because before it only activated on turn 3, but now they've given him a turn 2 activation as well, so you're not going to have to wait as long for him to go ahead and pop this effect on the foes and gain some advantages. The free panic is nice because he doesn't need to have any like higher HP than the foes to get that to go off, so that could be useful. And then just 7 chip damage. Okay, also at the start of combat, if unit's HP is above or equal to 25%, grants attack and speed up 5 to unit during combat. And also after combat, if unit attacked, deals 7 damage to target and foes within 2 spaces of target. Alright, so he sort of gets like a Savage Blow effect, but on top of that, he's dealing the 7 chip damage to the target foe as well, assuming they survive his initial attack anyway. And attack and speed up 5. I don't know if this is really good enough to make this guy useful, because really, his problem wasn't necessarily his weapon, it was just his stats kind of sucked. So when are you ever going to use this guy over Kid Innies or anyone like that? Especially considering Kid Innies is going to be in the Grail shop after this update. So unfortunately, but rip Takumi, you're just never going to be good again. Alright, we're moving on to Sothe up next, and this guy is pretty exciting to get a refine because he's an easy merge project, and he is actually pretty decent in the meta. So we got the Peshkat's refine with 14 might and 2 range. After combat, if unit attacked, inflicts all stats -5 on the target and foes within 2 spaces of target through the next actions, and grants all stats up 5 to unit and allies within 2 spaces for a turn. Okay, they buffed this slightly. It's doing 1 additional point on the debuff and 1 additional point on the stat bonuses. Before it was just -4 to all stats and +4 to all stats. So they made it a little bit better. And then also at the start of combat, if unit's HP is above or equal to 25%, grants attack and speed up 4 during combat. And also after combat, if unit attacked, inflicts special cooldown count +1 on target and foes within 2 spaces of target. And grants special cooldown count -1 to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit. Oh, that's different. So he's gaining Swift Sparrow, and then he's getting like a Pulse Smoke type of effect. But then he's also getting like a party-wide times pulse effect, I want to say. Really not sure what to call this, because this is the first time we've ever seen this type of an effect. But basically, after he attacks, himself and your allies that are in 2 spaces of him are getting a free times pulse, basically. That's pretty good. Yeah, so the thing about Sothe is that statistically he's pretty solid for an infantry dagger type. So a lot of people just ran some of the customizable daggers on him. Like, I know you would see Ouch Pouch a lot, so he can get the -2 special charge right away. Sometimes you would see him with his own weapon or Broadleaf Fan. There's just so many broken inheritable daggers. So it's hard to say if you're going to want to run this over those, but I do think this is definitely one of the crazier daggers overall as far as perfs go. So not bad for him. Okay, let's move on to Karla up next with the Vassal's Blade. So we got 16 might, 1 range, and HP up 3. Accelerates special trigger. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants speed up 5 to unit during combat and deals damage equal to 15% of unit speed. Dude, what? Oh my god, this got buffed so much. I remember before, this weapon was just Giga Excalibur, basically. So it would just do the 7 true damage, assuming she had a bit more speed than the foes. I believe it was up to 10 points more speed or so. Or it might have been up to 7 points more speed. I can't remember the wording on Giga Excalibur. Point is, you only got up to 7 true damage, whereas here you're getting 15%, with no actual cap on how high this can scale. So that's pretty crazy. And then -1 special trigger. I don't remember if she had that originally, but she's getting it now, so that's always good. And then at the start of combat, if foe's HP is above or equal to 75%, grants attack and speed up 5 during combat, and neutralizes effects that guarantee foes' follow-up attacks, and effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks during combat. Bro, so they just gave her null follow-up and attack and speed up 5, and then all of this extra stuff as well. Wow. Yeah, this is a pretty good refine for her. Actually, this is the best refine we've looked at so far, so let's see if any of these other guys can top Karla here. Alright, so we got Flora up next with the Hoarfrost Knife. So 14 might, 2 range. Accelerates special trigger. If unit initiates combat, grants defense up 20 to unit during combat. And also, if foe can counter, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up. And then, of course, it's got Dagger 7. I don't really think they changed this. They might have added the -1 special trigger, but I do believe the 20 defense and the guaranteed follow-up are the same. Okay, and then she has, if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts attack and defense -5 on the foe, and inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack during combat. Okay, so she's gaining guard, and then -5 attack and defense on the foe. So it's going to add a lot to her bulk. Physical attackers are really going to have a hard time killing her if she initiates, because she's getting 20 defense, inflicting -5 attack, inflicting guard, and then you could give her like sturdy impact, because speed doesn't even matter, so she just gets an automatic follow-up anyway. Yeah, so on the initiation, she's going to have crazy defensive bulk. But I don't really remember what her stats were. It's been a long time since I've actually looked at Flora, and I don't even have her myself, so I can't really like verify how much of this was the same or how much they changed. So you guys in the comment section down below will let me know. But it seems like a decent refine. I just don't know if you're going to want to use Flora over some of the other dagger units that we have now. And finally, we have the Bunny Sharena. Probably the most random unit in this batch to get a refine. So we got Munin's Egg, or Moonin's Egg. I don't even know how to say this. But 14 might and 2 range. Grants res up 3. At the start of the turn, if any foes have the highest attack or res on the enemy team, inflicts -7 on those foes' corresponding stat through the next actions. And at the start of combat, if foes' HP is above or equal to 75%, grants attack speed and res up 4 during combat. Okay, so she gets like a really huge radius on this attack and res debuff. Yeah, they just have to be on the enemy team. It's just like with Gunthra, where she doesn't have to line up with the foes or have more stats than them. She just gets these free debuffs, which is nice. And then attack speed and res up 4, also pretty good. At the start of the turn, restores 7 HP to unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit. And if unit initiates combat, or if unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed and res up 4 to unit during combat. Okay, so she's getting attack speed and res up 8, basically. A start of the turn party-wide 7 HP heal. That's pretty clutch. A lot of people seem to like undersell these start of turn or passive recovery effects, but they're actually pretty good. It's one of the reasons why Fallen Edelgard is so annoying, and I think Guinevere is just like ridiculous, because you just get back all this HP after combat or at the start of the turn or whatever. But is it going to work for her? I mean, I haven't looked at her stats in a long time as well. These are a real bunch of units that I haven't really seen too commonly in a long time. So I don't remember what her stat line was, but just getting +8 to 3 different stats. I guess you're not going to have to worry about defense too much with her. So pretty much just focus on attacking maybe mages and dragon types. Maybe even the, the staff units. And then this debuff could be real helpful depending on who else you have on the team. Like maybe you got Gunthra or Broadly Fan units or even Plegian weapon units. They're all going to benefit from this debuff. But I do think we have a winner here for sure. Karla's is easily the best out of this batch, I think. Let me know in the comments section down below who you think won the refined lottery this time around. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on to the stats for the Shadows of Valentia units. And we're going to start with Nott, I guess, even though we already knew what her stats were from a previous Datamine, but we'll take a look just for fun. So she's got 40 HP, 41 attack, 40 speed, 28 defense, and 27 res. And if we head over here to Banpei-Kun's Datamine grab bag, we can see that she has a BST of 176, and she's got super boons in attack, speed, and res. Alright, my bad there, guys. Throat's a little bit dry, but super boons in attack, speed, and res. All of those are pretty solid for her. She has distant counter, and she has her B skill with damage reduction, so you could play her sort of like a tank if you wanted to. Yeah, I would probably go plus speed just to give her a better matchup in the speed fights, but you could go plus attack if you wanted to hit a little harder. She is a defense mythic, of course, so if she can get a one-shot on a foe, that would definitely help her out. But there's not really much to say about Nott. She's insane, and she's definitely the sparking you should go for if you're summoning on the banner and you care about AR. Alright, next up we got Palla here. The thick sister Palla. So we got 41 HP, 42 attack, 21 speed. Oh, that's a lot lower than I thought. Then we got 41 defense and 28 res. So let's take a look at her stuff. So Palla's got a BST of 173 and a super boon in attack. Seems pretty obvious because she has a really high attack, and then her weapon is a brave weapon with adaptive damage. So you don't really need to care about speed. I guess this is a good way to build her. But what the hell is this defense? 41 defense on Palla of all units? She has one of the highest base defenses in the game now. Oh my god. And then 28 res ain't too shabby either. Really, you just want to play her as maybe a distant counter vantage unit. And then because she has Kanto built into her weapon, she's just going to be able to prance around the map all willy-nilly. So this is a really good unit. Definitely the second most valuable spark on the banner, I would say, behind Nott. Alright, let's go on to Zeke up next. So our boy Zeke's got 40 HP, 40 attack, 15 speed, 38 defense, and 35 res. And Zeke has a 168 BST with super boons in speed and defense. Oh my god, Insys is such a bunch of trolls. Why does he have a super boon in speed? There's like no point to that. Because he has the guaranteed follow-up on his weapon anyways, so you don't even need that. And it's not like his speed is high enough to break even with null follow-up units or anything, so yeah, just RIP his speed. Attack and defenses are very good though, so he has built-in distant counter as well. You'd be able to run him as a pretty good tank unit. So Zeke is not bad. Man, my throat is just like gone today. That's a sign that I was having a lot of fun where I was. I was at a barbecue before I came home. And then I came home late because we were chatting it up a bit. So forgive me for all the coughing, guys, but my throat is just gone. Okay, but like I said, though, he has a lot of bulk. He has a lot of power. He's got built-in distant counter. So Zeke is going to be pretty solid brawler overall. Don't need to worry about his speed too much. All right, let's move on to Tatiana up next. So Tatiana is special because she's going to be a reward unit from clearing certain quests. And apparently you can get 2 copies of her at 5-star. So that's definitely better than with Emerin and Noel, where I believe you got the copies at... One of them was 4-star and one of them was 3-star. But it's been a hot minute since we had those quests, so I don't fully remember. Either way, Tatiana has some pretty adorable artwork there. And then she's got 40 HP, 37 attack, 34 speed, 15 defense, and 39 res. And Tatiana has a BST of 165 with super boons in defense and res. Okay, so she's got a lot of magical bulk and some pretty solid power. She definitely reminds me of Lilina a bit, except Lilina just edged her out barely with a little bit better BST, and then the super boon could jump her into the 170 bin. So if you wanted to run Tatiana as a merge project for arena mode as a counter to all the ridiculous red mages we have in arena, like Duolith, Legendary Lilina, and the Duo Bylith, you'd have to give her the dual force skill, sadly. But I guess it is what it is. A free merge project for a blue mage like this is definitely not too shabby. And if you prefer her over Lilina, then you can go ahead and build her up for that. Alright, next up we have Luthier. So unfortunately, I'm one of the people that would have preferred if he got the 5-star treatment with some crazier skills, but I guess we'll take what we can get. And also, it's going to be easier to merge him up. So if you just like him and you want to go for the plus 10, then it's not going to be that hard to get it. So he's got 43 health, 37 attack, 36 speed, 20 defense, and 30 res. And our boy Luthier's got a BST of 166 with no super boons. Oh my god, come on. Don't do Luthier any more dirty than you already did him. Like, come on, at least give him a speed super boon or attack or even res would be nice, but... Ay. Insis, why you do this? Okay, but he does seem like a decent green mage merge project, I guess. It's been a hot minute since we've gotten any green mages, actually. So I don't really remember. I think maybe we would have gotten one from the Grail Shop as a GHB or a Tempest Trial. But I legitimately do not remember who the last green mage was, so I can't do any stat comparisons. I guess the most buildable one was Nino since day one, and he definitely looks a bit better than Nino. Even with Nino having the refine, it's like, you could probably just give this guy a Blade Tome and he'd function almost identically. So Luthier shouldn't be too shabby as a merge project if you want to go for him. And last up, we have our GHB Fernand over here. And Fernand's got 45 health, 41 attack, 26 speed, 32 defense, and 23 res. And Fernand has... Okay, he's got a BST of 167, and then he's got super boons and attack, speed, and res. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Super boon and attack for a free-to-play unit with 41 base attack. That's not too shabby at all. He's got decent defense, but then, like, speed and res are a little bit too mid for me. I think you'd probably be better off running Conrad, because he's got a lot of res as well. Like, Conrad is not too bad as a double stat tank with defense and res. Are you going to want to build this guy as a GHB? I would say probably not. He doesn't really jump off at me as, like, some kind of crazy unit. Probably better to go for Petrine or, yeah, like I said, Conrad if you want the dual stat bulk tanking. But unfortunately for Fernand, not looking too great other than the attack stat. And then also, I forgot to talk about the skills. So we have skills for Tatiana and, of course, Fernand. And Luthier as well, we have what level he's going to get his skills at. So I guess we'll start with Luthier. At 5-star, he's going to have Swift Sparrow 2. And at 4-star, he's going to have Guard 3. Either one of those would have been fine. It doesn't really matter, but low-key, I was hoping it was going to be Swift Sparrow 2. Just so you could inherit Swift Sparrow 3 a little bit easier. And then pick up something else in the process. So that is a little bit of a shame. Okay, Tatiana's skills are Blar Rabbit Plus, Ardent Sacrifice, Swift Stance 2, and Attack Opening 3. And she's going to have Swift Stance 2 at 4-star and Attack Opening at 5-star. So, Blar Rabbit, this is a new weapon. Inheritable blue tome with 12 might, and it's refinable, of course. During unit's first combat in player phase or enemy phase, grants attack and res up 5 to unit, and restores 7 HP to unit after combat. Okay, this effect here looks awfully familiar. Wasn't it not Conrad? I was gonna say Conrad. What's that dude? The dude in the Speedo from Three Houses. What's his name again? Lawrence, I think. Yeah, this is basically the same weapon that he had. And also the Summer Sylvain. They have the same weapon, but in different colors, of course, red and green. So they've added the blue version of that. Kind of sucky. I was thinking with a name like Blar Rabbit, this would have been effective against beasts or something. That's what a lot of people were hoping for because of the Fallen Edelgard, but I guess whatever. Okay, and finally, Fernand's skills. He's got Instant Lance Plus. Okay, so there was a meme the other day that he had Sapphire Lance. So I'm glad he has Instant Lance at least. This is actually a pretty solid inheritable weapon. If I'm not mistaken, Instant Lance is like the Sturdy Impact effect, but light, where you get the nullification of the foe's follow-up if you initiate, and then you get attack and defense up 4. So this is a pretty good weapon for cavalry types, of course, because they can't get Sturdy Impact naturally. Alright, then he's got Blazing Thunder, Swordbreaker 3, and Threaten Attack and Defense 2 at 4-star. Okay. Maybe making it a little easier to get these skills as an inheritance, but they've been completely overshadowed by the Menace skills anyway, so this is a waste. And Swordbreaker 3 on a unit in 2021? What is this? You know, they should really start making the Breaker skills Sacred Seals by now. I think that would be pretty interesting. We need to get some new seals, but I don't know. They just like giving us random nonsense like this. Alright, so that covers us for the refines and the units. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the other things in the Datamine grab bag. And of course, I will be linking this post in the description of the video, so you guys can take a look at all this stuff for yourself. Alright, but we got a couple of things I want to talk about here. So, Book 5 midpoint quests, we're going to be getting Tatiana as a 5-star, and Tatiana and minor rewards. So you will get 2 copies of her at 5-star. Pretty good. Alright, we have Hall of Forms as well. This is going to be a Binding Blade Hall of Forms. And we have Winter Fa, Summer Lilina, Brunnya, and Larum. Oh man, Brunnya in Hall of Forms? That's pretty good. So if you haven't built your Brunnya yet, then you could just deck her out with some insane stuff and pick her up with the Form of Soul and then just go ahead and go to town with that. Brunnya is still one of the best mage merge projects that we've gotten. So yeah, definitely a worthwhile Hall of Forms merge project to go for. If you've got a Form of Soul laying around, you may want to use it on her. Okay, everything else here looks pretty standard. There, we got some new accessories as well. Probably going to be from the new event, Forging Bonds. And then we got new Sacred Seals. So we got a Squad Ace Seal. Gives attack and res up 2, sure, whatever. Ghoulin Bursty enables Kanto Rem. Oh man, so wait a second. They gave us a Kanto seal here? Hold on. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. The corresponding skill is marked as enemy only and is exclusive to Cavalry and Flyer. Okay, that sucks. But this is like exactly what I've been talking about for so long, is that they need to start giving us Sacred Seals that are different from the passive skills. Like how we have Hardy Bearing and we have like the Phantom Speed and Phantom Res and like all those unique Sacred Seals that just give us effects we don't have on the passives. Like this would be really nice, even though I guess they have Kanto as a passive now. Kanto would be a really good Sacred Seal because you get your B-slot access still. So, yeah, unfortunate that this is enemy only. Would have been a nice reward. Maybe for clearing Book 5 or something. but I guess RIP that. And I think that's about it. There shouldn't really be anything else in here. Well, anything else that we're going to talk about. Yeah, so that just about covers everything here. Pretty interesting developments, not too shabby. I am definitely digging this refine for Vassal's Blade, and I do like Brunnya being a Hall of Forms unit. That's pretty awesome. Let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think of this batch of refines and the new units. Definitely interested to see what you guys have to say. But that's all for tonight. This is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.